Hello to my Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's get right into your reading. This reading is for the 4th through the 11th of February. We have a full moon on the 12th of February in Leo. A moon in Leo. We're not talking about any Leos that you know, so I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but we have a full moon in Leo coming up on the 12th of February. So let's get into it. Let's set the tone for your reading. Oh, new and exciting love awaits. Okay. All right, Taurus. New and exciting love awaits. That's always a good thing. So new and exciting love could be people, places, a person, place, or thing. So whatever you want it to be. Let's dive right into your reading. Let's get an angel number, and we're going to go right into tarot. We're going to go right into tarot and then pull some oracle cards afterwards. So let's go. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what your angel number is, Taurus. Yeah, 3, 4, 6, skipping steps. So details are important. So you are moving at a faster speed than most lately. And your angels are reminding you to make steps. Make sure that you aren't skipping any necessary steps. Circle back today to a recent situation and make absolutely sure that you did not miss any details or processes that could cause you an issue later. Cause you an issue later. Because somebody's head and heart may be at war with each other. So again, you got new and exciting love awaiting. So you don't want to repeat, we're supposed to say you don't want to repeat the same mistakes, throwing yourself back into a karmic cycle. This is the year of 9. We ended the year of 8, which is a karmic number, last year, right? So this is 2025. 2024 was the year of 8. So source is saying you got new and exciting love. You don't want to repeat anything. It could be a new baby, a new career, a new something. You do not want to repeat the same. You don't want to throw yourself into a karmic cycle. So let's do it. Let's see what's in your cards. So details are very important. Somebody could have a baby on the way. And details are very important. You don't want to miss out on anything. Like you don't want to, you don't want your head and heart being at war with each other. It's time to make some connections here. This is moving from the heart chakra where your head and heart could be at war with each other. So when we talk about the heart chakra connects us with the color green, it's, to love and be loved. That's the significance of it. And then love and connection, but love, trust, healing, gratitude, compassion, connection, forgiveness. It connects us with the heart chakra, power and intellect. So, how you speak to people, how you receive, how they communicate, all of that. So this is where you find out what your moon sign is also, so that you can kind of, and I would say this to any fixed sign, you, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, any fixed sign where you feel like you can get stuck and fixated on, this is how I've always done it, this is how I'm, was raised, and I can't move beyond this. I'm just stuck, and that water would break up that being stuck, right? So do something different. You got something new either already there or coming. So, soulmate. Yeah, you feel like this person is your soulmate. You're doing something different. That's your water. That is your water. You know exactly what your soul needs. You can go ahead and close out a cycle. Go ahead and close out cycles in love. Stop talking about certain things, people, places, and things. It makes a big difference when you when you've attracted your soulmate versus who you thought was a soulmate, a member of your soul connection. But it's because you've done the work, right? You've done the work. That's why it's so exciting for you, because you've done the work. Right, so you don't have to talk about certain things anymore. Here we have 3 of Wands. Certain things you don't need to talk about anymore. You're not talking about exes, ex-friends, ex-whomever. You feel like you're, victorious. You're back in the center stage again. Somebody's energy level has increased. So it's something you don't even need to go back to talking about anymore. Something you don't even need to go back to talking about anymore. Just, Tower card, Tower moment, right? So, now sources saying you're having a total recall, of a lot of things, and now something is coming to your mind as to why, you're an impulsive behavior cause somebody to be in a karmic relationship. Jumping to conclusions. Okay, I looked at the outside, I thought that was my type, cause you to jump to some kind of conclusions. Right? Maybe y'all like the same music, but somebody just did not really slow down and take the time to really just say, okay, what is a soulmate? You don't have to beat yourselves up, but you're divinely protected. You're divinely protected. New and exciting love awaits, right? Yeah, like I said, somebody could be pregnant. Somebody could be pregnant. Your abundance and your prosperity is growing. So something from your past needs to go. Like something from your past, still talking about certain things and holding on to, who has low self-esteem and who's, a narcissist and who is, responsible for your digestive issues, or, who is causing people to have issues with, like chronic fatigue, all of that. So it's saying some things you can let go so you can make room for something new and exciting. New and exciting, right? Yeah, something new and exciting. So here's the sun. So a light has been shined on something. A light has been shined on something, right? And so you're just grateful that the past is behind you. You're grateful that the past is behind you, right? Yeah, I'm grateful that the past is behind you, right? Somebody was sacrificed. After all the sacrifices that were made, so now there's somebody who jumped to conclusions about one thing is now realizing, wait a minute, you were looking in the wrong direction, right? Something happened and somebody wasn't sure. So something has come to the surface. So that's why details are important, right? So, yeah. So source is saying you're going to feel very fortunate, that you took some time to just really slow down and pay attention to details. Something has come to light, right? Right. Something has come to light, right? So, yeah, something has come to light about a situation. Right. So it looks like some people have been doing a lot of, like adding some structure and some, authority to some things, right? So that you can leave the past behind. Something that, like I said, something that was in the dark was brought to light. And so details are important. All right. So I see you sitting on your throne carefully, just vetting your thoughts, making room, right? Clear-headed, making some room, right? And the devil card is not demonizing anybody, just so we're crystal clear. The devil card is really about enslaved to some kind of obsession, lust, restrictions, or whatever the case may be. Like it could be like chained to a particular mindset, or like a belief system, about something. Like somebody's almost like to a point of obsessing over believing that you are, let's say, I don't know. Let me see what we can look at here in your cards. Almost like maybe believing that you are, just take what resonates with you, because everything is not going to resonate with everybody, right? But for instance, let's say that, some people have been talking about you, and this may not be the case, just so we're crystal clear. This may not be the case, but I'm just reading the cards. Let's say, for instance, somebody has been talking, the 3 looks like lips, right? So let's say somebody had been talking about you and somebody are depressed. Like your back is against the wall, you're depressed, but they almost obsessed with, that actually mirrors who they are, right? That's really, they're trying to project something onto you. And that's something that for you can kind of sort of relate to. Like people are almost like obsessed over your mental health. And everybody knows that creativity is subjective. Like you decide, like art, you're ruled by Venus. Art, music, a life that you love, a life that you're pleased with, your art, music, aesthetics, those kind of things. You could be looking at one thing and excuse me, and you determine, okay, that piece of art looks like a face, right? Somebody else could look at it and say it looks like something totally different. Doesn't mean that your interpretation is right, theirs is wrong, or whatever. But Source is saying that somebody is like almost, I don't know, obsessed with something, and it's like they can't sleep. Like they can't sleep, right? So there's something you don't have to go back to. There's something you don't have to go back to. Just do your shadow work. Like for real, all of this is genderless. Just so we're crystal clear, all of this is genderless. Yeah. Yes, there's some kind of obsession that's going on here. That's what in the Tower card. That's why you hear people say, "Oh my God, I'm having a Tower moment." What's hidden in there is some kind of somebody feeling judged or something. But yeah. But yeah, something could be disappointing. You know, it's interesting. Like we talk about this right here, the hangman here, like traditionally in tarot, kind of like what it means. Something that was in this, along with this moon card, like something that was done in the dark is being brought to the light, that somebody was sacrificed. Hold on. Okay, all right, so, yeah, let's get back to your reading here. All right. So yeah, so very firm boundaries. Like I said, you're creating, just like talking about very firm boundaries around anything that, could create for you or could mirror anything that, like I said, could be around, causes anybody to feel overwhelmed. Here we have the, so you can toss some things into a burning bowl. Because I feel like somebody may have felt like they were being pulled in two different directions here, looking at your cards here. The other 5, 6, 7, 8, and a karmic cycle, and so that's what really it's about. Is like creating very firm boundaries instead of jumping to conclusions about things. It looks like also, and I mentioned this kind of in whose reading did I mention this? And I want to say it was Leo's reading. No, one of the other zodiac signs. Because water. Reflective, obviously, water's reflective, but that could also reflect like cameras, recordings, and those kind of things. And really just about creating boundaries. If you feel like something is causing you to watch something, like almost obsessively watching something, right, to a point where you're like demonizing something. You're just like and operating in the flesh, or just projecting that everybody else is operating in the flesh about something, right? Source is saying, that's not. Yeah, you gotta, close out the cycle. Like for instance, what I'm looking at here, like if I put these two cards together here, 4 and 6 is 2. 4 and 2 is 6, right? The 6 of Cups connects us with something could have been done behind someone's back, right? Like somebody could have been talking about somebody behind somebody's back, or something could have been created behind someone's back, or whatever. But that's not always a negative. Reading the cards upright and in reverse is not always a negative. Somebody creating something behind your back could have created a trust fund for you behind your back without you knowing it, because that would have almost, depending on who you're around, it could put you in danger. If you start telling people, "Oh, I got this, trust fund baby, I'm a trust fund baby," or whatever, you could put somebody in danger. So creating something behind somebody's back, or saying something behind somebody's back, just like I always said with the 7 of Swords here, these 3 and 4 is 7, is not always a negative. You got to think beyond just jumping to conclusions. People jump into conclusions about things. Like I said in my card, in my readings, if you are not a person that's talking negatively about people behind their back, assassinating people's character, sources saying you also don't want to assume that everybody's saying something negative about you. This is jumping to conclusions about stuff, right? So again, like I said, people who could be watching something could be like for instance, on social media. Like if that platforms are people are monetized platforms, you may watch certain channels because you're trying to support someone financially. that's a way of supporting someone financially. It's not always copying, taking, stealing stuff, all of that. You may want to actually support somebody financially, especially if you feel like the content is worth you, worth it. You may be feel like, okay, you adding to, and I know that's what some of my subscribers will put under my videos. It's like, add comments, watch the videos all the way through, including the commercials or whatever they call the advertisements, whatever. Because that's part of how YouTubers get paid. Part of it. Yeah, again, there's a lot of people out there that's not gatekeeping. So again, but if it gets to a point where it's like everything is like people don't understand, it's so confusing, it's time to pull back. For real, it's time to pull back. It's time to, okay, I don't need to watch something as much. I don't need to do something much, because you have new and exciting love awaits. And again, what's hidden in the tower is almost an obsession, with something. So sometimes you have to create very firm boundaries. It's almost like telling your kids, because I'm looking at this pregnant person on this card here. It's almost like telling your kids, okay, it's enough TV time. Like when people were younger back in the day, had the TV and sitting in the living room or whatever. Okay, it's enough TV time. But people know it's programming, right? There's enough TV time. It's time to pull back from that, right? So people look for reasons on light and dark side to use anything against people. And so source is saying you need to stay focused. People are not running away from anything. Again, people are not running away from anything. Source is saying to you, just like you, trying to stay focused. So yeah, source is saying get some rest. When people move on, they're being shady. No, if that's the frequency that people are on, it's too much time being looked at into something. Way too much time. So it's just saying it's something you're not going back to, because you're doing your own shadow work. You got new and exciting love. Who has time? You only got 24 hours in a day, like for real. Well, who's doing all of that? So you got something that source needs you to put. You got somebody who was in between salamanders, which is rebirth, like basically trying to remove you, almost like who is this? This would be a Leo and a Leo and a Taurus, maybe. Who would be a Leo and a Taurus? I'm trying to think of the planets that's aligned with those. So Leo is ruled by the sun, yeah, and then Taurus is obviously your Taurus. If you're tuned into this, ruled by Venus, right? So somebody was this could be, like I said, it could be a message about a young person or something like that, but these could be somebody's friends, like who were just like really bullying, just kind of sort of like forcing somebody to go through a rebirth. Because again, they may have been, like I said, because you got fire right up under this water right here. Like somebody could have been trying to like sacrifice somebody, toughen somebody up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because, like peer pressure, those kind of things. You got to be careful too with that. Just like whoever's tuned into this channel, everybody was at that age where they were, oh, come hang out with us, blah, 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 whatever. So source is saying to you, you may want to start paying attention to not being fixated on one thing and kind of sort of breaking up the monotony a little bit, like breaking up you said new and exciting love awaits. So say my fixed signs, you fixed signs, when you say your fixed signs in your birth chart. Look at those. How can you break up that being fixed, like fixed on one, belief system, or fixed on one way of creating something, or fixed on one way of thinking, or fixated on one, physical piece of something. Like, so source is saying your moon sign is going to help kind of break that up a little bit. So yeah, so you can help move on from just that karmic being torn in two different directions. So yeah, so that's how somebody's going to find their star. That's how somebody's going to find their star, of just not being fixated on something. And I would say that's it. Like I said, my fixed signs in particular, I'm like, okay, y'all, come on, like find out what your moon sign is. Pour into yourself, right? So yeah, somebody went down a rabbit hole. Somebody went down a rabbit hole, and somebody says that you're down to earth, you're relatable. I mean, whatever. You know, you're down to earth, you're relatable. Move on. You know, anybody jumping to conclusions about something again. You know, what's interesting too, looking at the cards here, because we got this right here. Somebody is basically saying that somebody's mother is depressed, back against the wall. They feel depressed, you know, whatever. But I don't know if they talking about your mom or somebody who's like a mother figure or somebody you had kids with or whatever. Somebody basically saying somebody's depressed. And like two people are depressed. Like, again, people use their water to create what they want to create. Somebody says that somebody's going through a particular phase in life. People will find a way somehow to attach that to their mental health. I mean, just anything to just using their creativity to create chaos and confusion. So source is saying to you, move on. Yeah, move on. Like people have said, people who are pregnant, what is even pregnancy brain? I mean, I don't know, but somebody saying somebody's pregnancy brain, or somebody who can't have kids, somebody will attach somehow to mental health to that. You know, of somebody going through a particular phase in life, somebody will attach some kind of mental health to that, because you're seeing a lot of water here. Instead of using their creativity to create solutions, that's really helping creating more problems. So anyway, so source is saying to you, you're moving on from something. Yeah, you're moving on from something. I don't feel like you're toying in two different directions anymore. I feel like at this point you are putting your energy towards something, like I said, some good news that you have coming through. I feel like, you know, something you feel like, see how this fish is jumping out of this cup right here? Something for you could feel like you're a fish out of water, and to some degree could be new to something that you're trying to create. You have deep emotions around. That's what you're putting your energy towards. People should spend less time gossiping and assuming and becoming familiar with, and I'm familiar with this and I'm familiar with that, just to be a part of a conversation. So source is saying focus on what you can control. See you sitting on your throne, like I said, carefully vetting your thought, helping other people to adjust their crown. That's it. Yeah. So whatever anxiety you may have been having about something is going to be coming to an end very soon. You know, of you, maybe like your inner child feeling like somebody was an open book, you know, feeling like they're walking on eggshells. That could have been you, it could have been anybody around you. But I feel like somebody, this page energy here, which is messenger, but some kind of message is coming through about these two energies. And this could be for somebody, like I said, I don't know who this Leo and Taurus is though. Somebody was being bullied. That's what this is. And a light is being shown on that, somebody being bullied. And it was something somebody was saying about somebody's mental health, somebody's sexual history. And it's somebody that it's like somebody that you may know in common, but somebody was being bullied, maybe possibly by their, you know how young adults may be peer pressure or something. So I don't know if it's somebody's little cousin, your child, older child, or whatever. But yeah, somebody was being bullied. So going through some kind of a rebirth, but that was some of the sacrifice that was happening here. And so for you coming through, like, no, you've sacrificed way too much for somebody to be sitting there in between these two energies, you know, feeling bullied. Right, so you're going straight in for the bullies, whoever the bullies are. So if that means you got to go up to somebody's school and talk to somebody about something, or, you know, maybe you're the parent, maybe you're the older sibling, whoever you are, but that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, somebody was obsessed with, like I said, sacrificing two energies, judging people by, you know, maybe like judging. If you have kids with somebody, I don't know what, because this is a general reading, Taurus, but I don't know what anybody does for a living, whatever you do for a living, because I'm talking about creativity here. We're talking about sacrifices. whatever your ancestors sacrificed for you to be here today, like for whatever it is, whatever job you're doing. You could be a educator, whatever. Whatever your job is. So it's just saying stay focused, because these energies out here, peer pressure, you're talking about page energy, page of cups, page of this is youthful energy. This is like a young adults, like young people that's sacrificing people, like basically, and not what the sacrificing in a way of like teasing, like because you're operating in your purpose. So it would be like somebody teasing, like somebody for what they do for work. Like let's say you're somebody found out that you're like a CEO of a company or something like that, and it's like televised, you're on TV or something like that, you're on TV, or now social media, whatever, people being teased by these energies, right? People being bullied, because you see the bull horns here, you see the bull horns here, and then and people just just talk, causing people to feel like they're on eggshells constantly. So source is saying that's what a lot of parents, if you're a parent, we see this Empress card right here, that's a lot of parents have in common with other parents, and that's what people can join together. It's just like this, I can't even say it's a bully culture. It's just kind of like, well, you got the cyber bullying, you got just people just be using their creativity for the wrong stuff. But I see money coming across your path. It's like something now is like a new, looking at your cards, it's like this is a Ten of Pentacles. It's a new legacy being created. I want to say I saw this also for another. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people, whatever generation it is, kind of getting together, helping the younger generation to find their light without being bullied for what the other past ancestors sacrificed for everybody to be where they are. That's what I'm saying. So somehow Source is using you to help people, you and other parents and stuff, because it's a lot of page energy in your reading. It's a lot of page energy in your reading. So yeah. So it says, come out of this fixated. I'm fixed. So it's somebody being shady. I'm fixated. They talking about you. They talking about this. Somebody being bullied because it's somebody else's fault. So it's saying get clear. That's what the Tower card is. It's a total recall, like what you went through between the ages of 8 years old and 14 years old. People just got more creative because we're on social media now. That's cyberbullying, and versus maybe when you went to school there was no internet, so people found a creative way of trying to bully. Oh, your parents do such and such for a living, so here we have ease. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing here for you. Your gifts, so it could be your kids, grandkids, or whatever, trying to find their light, trying to find their star. But I see a lot of people actually kind of sort of coming together, talking. This is what all this area is about. People, not just because of title and position and how much money somebody had, but just people coming together, determined to stop the bullying. Determined to stop the bullying, determined to stop people from being sacrificed, and people having to go through this, or we didn't know, nobody told us, how come they didn't speak up and say something? So what do you need to release? What do you need to release? We have a snow moon that's coming up in Leo, so it's saying you're gonna start going where you're appreciated and not simply where you're tolerated. What do you need to release so that you can create something where you're aligning with talking with other people, like stepping outside of a comfort zone? Something. So this keeps coming up in you all's cards. It's you and, well, I would probably say all zodiac signs. I mean, just depending on what your calling is, but like this is something you're creating, something around people who try to isolate people because they're depressed, they're mentally ill, but the goal is to separate them from stuff, to sacrifice them. Source is saying somebody is not catching it. Somebody's not catching all this conversation going on, and somebody getting rich off of it. So full moon. Yeah, full moon. Go where you are appreciated and not where you are tolerated. Listen, know your worth, know your value, because like know the sacrifices your ancestors made for you to be in some kind of a position. 29, 2 and 9 is 11. 11 is a master number. Source is saying it's time to get off the fence. Align yourself with other energies who who are trying to find their light, trying to create space to find their light. And people are calling them difficult to love. Like it's hard to love this energy. They just keep hurting such. So it's like, come raise the frequency. Raise the frequency. Source has something big, and Source keeps sending this across somebody's path. It's like, okay, detach from that, just the root. Raise the frequency. Raise the frequency to love. This right here, this color green right here, connects us with the heart chakra. So your head and heart are not at war with each other. It's like, you know what? Let's create something that's going to stop. When we talk about with the heart chakra is out of alignment, is when it's out of alignment, it creates asthma, apnea, heart, lung problems, breast cancer, allergies, immune disorders, loneliness, antisocial behaviors, thymus issues. And some people will harp on that, the dark side of the heart chakra, and create, oh, okay, this person's mentally ill, okay, because they're pregnant and they're get pregnancy brain, okay, they need to be put on some kind of medication, or this person is going through menopause, or this person is going through perimenopause, or this person can't have kids. I mean, creating the wrong stuff. So it's just saying to you, it's something about you aligning yourself with people that's going to create something where people may have been bullied when they were young. We're talking about their inner child being bullied. Somebody's not looking at it the right way. Their inner child may have been bullied, and you're going to start aligning yourself with energies. So I say, okay, they're something about their energy. We got it. Okay, now we're going to align ourselves with creating chaos and confusion. I mean, come on, yeah. So it's saying, what do you need to release? What do you need to release? Because it's not just about money. It's some kind of social responsibility. That's what it's saying. Everybody's ancestors made a lot of sacrifices for people to be where they are. Kids, whatever, made a lot of sacrifices. So you're on to something. You're on to something big. But you're also going to see on a larger scale. You can just see it actually on social media. Why some people can't get beyond a certain level. It's just too much infighting, too much chaos and confusion, while other people are just soaring because they got it. They're like, okay, we're talking about the human race here. So it has a big assignment for somebody that's going to really grow your abundance and prosperity. Your whatever you're trying to create is so much bigger than somebody even. I don't even think somebody even gets it at this point. Something around the younger generation. So that's what I have for you. All right. Hopefully this is helpful. Bye.